Hello, my name is Dean Contover, and this is the Current Buzz. Thank you for watching today. We have two gentlemen. One is Raymond Van Liew, and the other one is Robert Van Liew. Thank you for being on the show. We're going to talk about soda. They are making a new soda. They have their office in Chelmsford, and the beverage is made in Lowell, Massachusetts. So this is the drink right here. They make it in, what is this?
Oh, that's the cola.
This cola, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
This is the cola.
That's
This
the
one's easy. This is the grape, right? And what's the name of the
soda.
drink? Yeah.
So it is called Demi Doux low sugar soda.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it is our product that we're very proud of.
Yeah.
Right. And how long have you been involved in this, in Demi Doux?
Oh, that's a long story. It's been 2 years of development. It's been a very long journey. So back in 2018 is when we decided to start developing it. And to do that, what we did was we went online to find a soda chemist who'd be able to help us with this project. So we found someone all the way out in California.
Get out of here. Well,
So-
that's where most chemists are, California, right?
Yeah, so we're like, oh, you know what? This person's going to be a great fit. Let's go reach out to him. So we started talking, and we had very high hopes. We're like, this is going to be great. Let's start having them make some samples. So it took them a long time to start formulating, getting everything ready. They sent us the first batch of samples, and we were so excited. We're like, oh, yeah, we got the first batch of samples. So the first 4 flavors were ginger ale, root beer, cola, and orange. So we opened up the first soda. It's like, okay, ready to try it. So we took a sip, and then we just went, oh, no. There's something wrong. It tasted extremely
Right.
acidic. And the reason why is since we're using half the sugar content, that means you'll have to balance out the other flavors. And we know that's not an easy task. So everything was extremely acidic and it tasted terrible. We were very scared.
To interrupt for a second, I think the reason the chemist did that was like, the idea was, all right, make what you think is like a normal soda, but just cut the sugar in half. But what they didn't realize was that, well, there's a lot of acid, and it's to balance out the sugar. Right? Coca-Cola and all these Pepsi and Coke products have tons of sugar, so they have a lot of acid to balance out and give it that bite.
I see.
So they left the acid extremely high while the sugar was cut, and it's like, oh my God, so sour.
So you got another chemist, right?
Well, we gave them more chances.
So yeah, we were like, okay, this was the first try. We gave the chemist our notes. We're like, please just make sure you balance out the other ingredients and make sure you cut down on the acid because it tastes way too acidic. And they're like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. So we waited for a long time, made a new formula, had to wait for a long time for shipping because they're all the way out in California. Got the second batch. We're like, yeah, let's go try to get it. It was still extremely acidic, and we were not pleased. So we went through this cycle over and over and over again. And on the 3rd or 4th try, I told the chemist, I'm like, please, do not send us the samples unless you are sure that you'd be willing to buy it. If you're willing to buy it, send us the samples. So I told the chemist that. But they still kept sending us the worst possible samples. Everything was so acidic, it tasted terrible. So after 7 tries, we gave them 7 tries, okay? A whole year. We finally decided, okay, you know what? This isn't working out, but we spent a year with this chemist. Let's try to salvage something. We remembered that the ginger ale, one of the formulas was pretty decent, so it's like, could you send us a sample of that particular formula of ginger ale and see if we can work with that? And they said, oh yeah, sure, we'll send that to you. So they send us the samples for that. And we tried it. Wasn't even close to what it was before. It was way off.
It was so stupid.
So they clearly had no idea what they were doing. They weren't even taking their own notes properly. So at that point, we decided, okay, we're done. We have to cut them off.
Wow.
We wasted a whole year,
Wow.
and now we burned a hole in our pockets. It's unfortunate, but we just have to move on. So that was a whole year wasted. 2018 was just a year of tragedy for Demi.
All right. Well, so what happened? No.
So in 2019, I reached out to one of my contacts over at Framingham State University. I'm a Framingham State University alumni, and there's a great food science program there. And so what I did was I went into contact with the head food scientist there, and I told him about my idea for a half sugar soda. And he was like, this is great, but this is way too specialized for me. What I can do is I can refer you to an excellent beverage chemist that can help you with this project.
Wow.
And I was like, great. I mean, anything's better than what I had before. So we reached out to who is now our current chemist, and she has been outstanding.
Okay.
She knows exactly what she's talking about every time we talk
Where
with
does she
her.
live?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah. So we had her create the first samples, and I was already nervous. I was like, oh man, this is probably going to be like the other chemists. So we opened up the samples, trying, we're like, this is really good.
Wow.
This is awesome. The first try, she was, it was
on.
amazing.
That's great. The first try
That
she
was
got
great.
it. But the other ones,
the grape right here.
Yeah, the original.
right.
This was a new flavor. She got it right pretty much on her first
Okay.
try. The other ones, we needed a little bit of revision.
Yeah, but it was still
but
so
but it was
good.
way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, hold on just a minute. I'm going to sample it right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can get this locally, right?
Yep, there's a few stores in Chelmsford that I can mention at the end, but yeah, we're in about 4 storefronts in Chelmsford and a bunch of other places in the Merrimack Valley.
I like grape. It's good grape. You know, so I suggest you buy grape. I know ginger ale is popular. You can get it at the Summer Street Grocery.
Yep, Summer
Yeah,
Street
that's where I
Grocers.
get my. That's where I get mine. So you got a chemist. Now, you have to can it. You have to make it. How do you do that? Now you got the formula.
Yep.
What do you do now?
So we work with a local brewer in Lowell.
Okay.
Obviously, he makes his own beer, but he can also make other beverages. He makes coffee for another company, for example, and he also makes our soda. So he's essentially what's called our co-packer. So, obviously we get the ingredients to him, we get the cans to him, and he's the one who actually has the machine. He mixes it in a vat and then cans it for us.
Right.
We've seen the machinery for it. Surprisingly, actually, for the small scale machinery, it's way smaller than I thought it would be. Obviously Coca-Cola and Pepsi have these gigantic, very fast automated mechanisms,
Yeah.
but the more manual, smaller scale stuff is actually not very big. So that was kind of surprising to see. But yeah, we can it with him in Lowell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can it. How long does it take you to find this guy to can it?
We bounced. Well, yeah. So in terms of manufacturing, that is also, I guess, kind of a long story. We started in with somebody in Seabrook, New Hampshire. Fell out with them because they wound up kind of posing us a little bit, and then we moved to Michigan. That was before the gas prices started spiking, and then eventually, right, the transport costs of everything start shooting up, and we're just like, we're going to go out of business. Like, we can't, because we don't want to pass on the cost to our customers. So we lucked out. We found this guy right in the backyard in Lowell. We found him just in the nick of time because we were about to give up because we're like, we don't want to charge our customers too much money. And we were able to get saved on the transport costs because he's right in Lowell. We can pick up directly from him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So your corporate offices are in Chelmsford. You're both Chelmsford High School graduates,
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's right.
Yep.
And so that's why we have you on the show to, help you out. There used to be a Chelmsford Ginger Ale Company that's no longer in business, as you know.
Yep.
And so I wanted you to have, not because I wanted to try the drink at all, I like it and I do buy it. So I think the people in Chelmsford, should try it. Give me the 3 stores that you're in Chelmsford. Do you remember?
Yeah, so there's 4 of them.
Okay,
there's
4.
Gray's in the center of town near that Yung Tung Thai restaurant in the center of town.
Okay,
Gray's is
right.
actually run by Abby. She was, I didn't recognize her at first when I walked in the store, but then she told me her name was Abby. I'm like, you were in my graduating class.
No kidding.
And she was like, oh yeah. So, but yeah, Abby runs a catering storefront, and she also has a small specialty goods store of stuff that you're not going to be able to find at Market Basket or things like that. So it's more specialized, higher quality stuff. We're at Joni's Pizza near the Lowell border, near where that Popeyes is and the liquor store.
Yeah.
Joni's was recently
Drum Hill, more or less.
yeah, Drum Hill
Drum
area.
Hill, yeah.
Joni's was recently reviewed by David Portnoy of Barstool Sports a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, and a lot of people
And they
like
were
their
also
pizza.
interviewed in the Boston Globe.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to get you interviewed in regards to the Boston Globe, in regards to your drink.
Yeah.
So,
And there's also one more place. I want to plug them because they're new.
Yeah.
What's it? Oh, Euphoria Coffee.
Euphoria Coffee.
Right near
Fletcher
the
Street.
Zesty's Pizza in the center of town as well.
Yeah.
He is way better than Starbucks or Dunkin'. Forget that stuff, guys. This guy.
That's a new restaurant. So
They just
tell
opened a few months ago.
Yeah, just tell them where it is locally.
It's
called.
Yeah, it's literally where the Zesty's Pizza is in
Where
the center of town.
Plaza, yeah.
The same floor on the opposite side of that building.
yeah, okay.
And it's family run. Everybody there is very enthusiastic because they're all from the same family. So they're very friendly.
So you have local stores in other places, Carlisle, Acton, Mass.
Yeah, if you look at our website, there's a locations tab,
Right.
and we're
You
in
do have a
plenty
website?
Yeah,
Okay,
locations
good.
tab. We're in southern New Hampshire and various places across the Merrimack Valley you can find in
okay.
that locations tab.
What about the big stores? Let's say Market Basket.
So,
What do you think? I mean, can you, if they put in orders for Market Basket, and they have a lot of drinks in there, water, semi-water, I don't know what they have. So, I mean, what's the possibility of getting a big store like that?
Yeah, so I mean, we work with a professional co-packer, so we could ramp up to that capacity. Obviously, we need a little bit of lead time to do that, but we have the capability. It's just that a lot of the times, and this is probably a problem for a lot of small, more craft products, is we often just get kind of snubbed by the big chains. I think what a lot of people don't realize is even if you think like a chain, it seems like a chain, you'd be a good local fit. Individual stores don't really have any say over what they get a lot of the time. Like if
What do you mean they don't have a say?
So like at Trader Joe's, for example, I talked to somebody there. They seem to be interested in the product, but they're like, you got to talk to HQ. We everything sent to our store is controlled by the headquarters.
Wow.
We don't control. We can't order stuff ourselves. It just comes from HQ, coordinated that way on a very big scale. So
It's a national chain, right?
yeah,
So,
like Trader Joe's, Market Basket, they all probably
all
function like
national,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very hard niche to get into. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm sure, and it's probably when you're a big company like those, I'm sure they get hundreds of requests, and so they for whatever reason they don't want to pick us up because they're probably deluged with plenty of requests like that.
Yeah, they probably are. I saw you guys at farmer markets in Chelmsford. You go to farmer markets locally?
Yeah, we
Is
just
that what
started
you
that
sell?
this year.
Okay.
This year we did Westford, Chelmsford, and Tewksbury, and we are currently, for the winter market, are at Maxwell's winter market right now. And then we'll probably
Maxwell's is where? I'm sorry.
I think it used to be called Agway when I was at Byam School.
Oh, yeah. I know.
It's called Maxwell's
It's
now.
in Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they do a winter market currently.
I see. When is that? Every weekend?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday, okay.
We're there bi-weekly, so if you go there and we're not there, we're going to be there the next week since we go every 2 weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what's your popular drink?
It's always fun to hear what people like. Everyone likes their own favorite flavor. My friends, they all argue about which one they like the most. One of my friends really likes the root beer. One of them really likes the ginger ale. They're always getting into fights on which flavor is the best.
Online, it used to be cola was the clear winner, which makes sense because Coca-Cola is like the most popular flavor, so people want a low sugar version of it. But in the last year or so, the other flavors have started catching up. Grape is lagging behind because it's new, so people, you don't have that established customer base. But in terms of storefronts, that's a frequent question I get when I'm talking to a new store. They're like, "What's your most popular flavor?" I'm like, "I can't tell you. It really depends on your customer." Because a lot of the times, what can happen is at a store, you get one or two really loyal customers that really like one flavor, and they will buy it out. And I don't know what that flavor is going to be, so I just tell them, get a little bit of everything, and then we can go from there, adjust the proportion based on what your customers like at that store.
So what type of flavors do you have? I mean, tell us.
So we got ginger ale, root beer, cola, grape, and orange.
Okay.
We're particularly proud of the fruit flavors because we have real fruit juice in them. Grape soda, for example, is typically thought of as like a kid's drink because it's just sugar.
Yeah.
And there's no grape flavor.
Well,
it's just purple dye, right?
Hold it just a minute. You have sugar cane.
Yeah, we
in
use
your
cane
drinks.
sugar instead
Cane
of
sugar. Okay.
corn syrup like Pepsi or
Okay,
Coke.
yeah, okay.
And we also have 5% grape juice in the grape soda and 7% orange in the orange juice. So there's real fruit juice in these fruit sodas. Who knew? Who would have guessed that putting real fruit juice makes the fruit sodas taste really good? It's something that the big guys don't really do. Yeah.
And it's also important that we put it in there because when we do the local farmers markets, I always recommend the grape and the orange soda to the kids if they ever want to try one, and they love it every single time. The parents are always like, oh, now I gotta try, and then the parents want to try, and they're like, wow, that's actually really good. The fruit juice does make a big difference.
And you sell it in a 6-pack or 12-pack or?
Typically, at the retail locations, we'll typically offer singles, 4-packs, or 6-packs. I mean, if you come to the markets, we can make custom 6-packs however you want, and we'll
I
build them
see.
for you on
All
the
right,
spot
yeah.
with whatever breakdown of flavors you want. But yeah.
Cans your favorite? What about bottles? Did you ever think of bottles, or that's in the
Bottles,
future?
so something that people might not know is bottles are way more expensive than cans, and we want it to still be affordable. So, I mean, that's why you notice all these craft drinks in the bottles are so expensive, because the bottles are expensive. So we want to stick with cans so that we can offer it at an economical price point.
Right. Now, do you get orders all over the country? I saw you were on Walmart and Amazon.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
orders all over the country, like you say. Surprisingly, a significant amount of people from the West Coast order online. So, but yeah, it's all over the place. There's no real concentration, except California.
The West Coast of California, they're always on the cutting edge. So if you get people from California picking up on it.
Yeah, I feel like the West Coast has a better grasp on and more interest in more interesting flavors and variety and just a more foodie type of thing than New England, I think.
Yeah, ginger ale. I'm not crazy about ginger ale, but I like that golden ginger ale that they carry Chelmsford ginger ale at the market basket, and I like that type ginger ale rather than Canada Dry. How is your ginger ale? I mean, I haven't tasted it.
Yeah, I would.
So, I mean,
we're not really a golden ginger ale.
Okay.
So it's I guess more of like, well, part of ginger ale can have a very high variety of what do you call it, variants of flavor profiles. So it's hard for me to describe how it would taste. We had actually, we still to this day have a little bit of disagreement on how much ginger flavor to put in. I like my ginger very strong, but we talked with our father for some input as well, and
So
they
what-
wanted a little
yeah.
bit on the lower side.
What we did was we actually had taste testings when we were creating the formulas for these. And what I did was I actually invited a bunch of my friends over. And ginger ale was by far the hardest one to formulate because a lot of my friends wanted it stronger, a lot of them wanted it weaker, and some people just don't like ginger, and so they want it weaker. So we had to find a midpoint where it wasn't too strong and it wasn't too weak, and this is what we came up with. And I'm personally very happy with it because
Okay.
I feel like it's a ginger ale that anyone can enjoy, and we do put in real ginger extract, so it's, even though it's strong, it's not too strong.
Yeah, it's not like ginger beer level.
Yes, it's not
yeah.
ginger beer. My friends who want it really strong, they like ginger beers, but we don't want a ginger beer. We want it something in the middle,
Yeah, I
and that's what we
understand.
got with this.
there's a local beer studio opening up in the center of town. Would you sell them drinks there? I mean, have you approached them? Or?
Yeah, I actually did inquire with them. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but
okay.
the owner did call me, and
Oh.
I can't promise it, but based on the phone call, he did say he was interested in carrying our product, so you might see us
It's
there
a
when
local
they open.
product.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see
it
why
makes sense
not.
to have
Yeah.
a Chelmsford soda in the Chelmsford pub, you know.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. That's it. It's a new pub that they're talking about opening up in the center of town, which I think is probably needed, in town.
Yeah.
But we need this drink, So Ray Van Liew, Robert Van Liew have a new soda. Try it. What's the name of the soda?
Demi Doux low sugar soda.
And what does Demi Doux mean?
So Demi Doux means semi-sweet in French.
Okay, so it even says it on it. It says low sugar soda.
That's right.
Yep.
Good. Anything else you want to talk about in regards to something I might have missed? Stores that you put the drink in or anything like that?
Well, do you want to talk about how we work as a team and how we have a completely different skill set? Even though we're brothers, we have completely different skill sets.
Oh, your brothers, huh? I didn't think so.
When we go to the farmers markets, we will have people that will come up to us and say, "Oh, you both are brothers. You probably both have the same skill set. You know, you probably both do the same thing." And no, it's actually the complete opposite. I'm the creative force behind the product, while Rob is the brains behind
I'm like the
product.
business side
Now,
of things.
who designed the? You
So
designed
I'm
it.
basically the one in charge of the labeling and the marketing.
Any sort of graphic
material.
design.
Any sort of graphic design. Because when I went to Framingham State University, I specialized in graphic design. So whenever we need to print labels and everything, I need to change the designs. And you'll notice on these cans, one of them, you'll see that the label goes up to here. And for this can, the label fits the whole can. So when we need to make adjustments to the labels, I'm the one that needs to make the adjustments, and I need to change the design
see.
sometimes. So I handle all that.
And the reason we made this change was, although I kind of think this version of the can that's kind of all the way up and down looks a little better, we learned that this sort of plastic wrap is not really good for the environment, and also the way that these are wrapped, they have to apply heat to it, and our co-packer in Lowell thinks that the heat is causing faults in the cans. Sometimes we have some cans that actually have small leaks, so that's been a problem. So switching to this has solved that problem because they're not applying heat to apply the label to it, and it's not causing minuscule cracks and stuff in it, and it's better for the environment as well.
What impresses me, you have Chelmsford, Massachusetts on the can.
Yep.
And I think that's accolade for Chelmsford. That, look, this is the cola, right?
Yep.
It says in cola.
Yep.
Is that how you have them all?
Yeah, they're all like that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting design, but
Yeah,
we really wanted to highlight the low sugar
Yeah.
aspect of it,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
really
I
have
see
room to communicate the flavor that easily. So we put it on the side like that. So there's not really many cans that would.
What would you hope in the future? I have a couple of minutes left.
We want to go national. We want to be all over the country. That's the end goal.
Okay.
And more immediate goals are, the farmers markets have been fun and a good way to let people know about the product. And a lot of the times they're skeptical. It's like low sugar. You hear that because diet, right? There's a reason that regular Coca-Cola sells better than diet cola, right? It just tastes better. So
It sure does.
Yeah. So, but people try this and they're like, "That I barely even noticed that this is low sugar." And it's like, the big guys over sugar things up, and you don't miss it in this product. We cut it in half, and it's still obviously we flavor balanced it, and you don't miss it.
Yeah.
And if you were to do a head-to-head, you'll realize how much sugar is in the other ones when you try them side by side. It's night and day.
I haven't tried it, but I did try the grape. I mean, I do like your grape.
Thank you.
So the mission is to go big time. Even though you're on Amazon and the Walmart website, you get most of the action from Amazon. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, most people. a lot of people, like many middle-class families and such, have Amazon Prime, so like they do a lot. And even I, it's just convenient. So a lot of people order on Amazon.
You have a credit card, and it's easy. It's too easy. Licensing. Do you have to go through a license process or anything like that?
So our co-packer, the co-packers that we've worked with, they're the ones that have the food and drug. I guess I don't know what the proper terminology is, but the licensing and
the
paperwork type stuff.
The product licensing, is that what they call product license? Or?
So we have the formulas, but we didn't patent them because we want to kind of keep that a little under wraps. But yeah, the co-packers that we work with are the ones that have the certifications and that sort of thing, like health and food safety.